and the agents put out bullshit. And the reporters are happy to put out the agents' bullshit because the reporters are the ones that get the real shit from the agents when it's not bullshit. So the reporters are stuck putting out all of this shit, and it's left to us to decide whether it's real shit or bullshit. Hello, Dolphin fans. So, the NFL Combine ended the other day, and a couple of things came out of that. And I wasn't really planning on doing a whole lot with it in the middle of busy stuff with the hockey and everything like that. And season's kind of, we were in the lullest part of even the off season. There's not a whole lot going on. But now, if you've been a fan of my hockey content for any length of time, you might already figured out that I'm somebody that kind of just likes to speak his mind. And I've said some things and directed some things that owners and general managers and coaches and players and everything like that in the hockey world. Now, in the football world, the Miami Dolphins were breaking my heart for decades before the Panthers even came into being. So I'm a lot more jaded, and I've talked about that, where it's just like, I love the team and they're in the blood, but when they cut you and you're bleeding, you just kind of be like, give me a Band-Aid, and you just put the Band-Aid on, and you're just so used to getting cut by the team, you don't even recognize that they've got knives out half the time, right? With the Panthers, it's been a little bit of a different situation. The point being is that I have not often come on this channel and just blurted out 4 minutes of being aggravated, agitated, and irritated, because not to find a point on it, I'm not as emotionally invested in the football team as I am the hockey team. And that's their own fault. And I can only imagine that's the way it is for a lot of the younger kids who haven't even been around this team long enough for them to win a playoff game. Doesn't mean I don't love the Dolphins. Doesn't mean I don't want them to win. It just means that it doesn't ruin my day anymore on Monday when we lose on Sunday. It used to cost me about 2 good days of a mood. And now it's just kind of like, you know what? I just don't think this matters as much as I think it used to. Hockey's a different story, okay? I can cry for 12 hours over a bad hockey period. Now, what am I talking about? Well, one of the things that possibly came out of the Combine is that the possibility, likelihood, that Christian Wilkins might hit free agency. Now, let's put that in one hand. Now, there's also, in the other hand, the projection, the supposed projection, the projection that is so crazy, I hope it's wrong, but nothing would shock me. And that is the possibility of Tua's contract being something around the 4 years, $220 million a year, which, if you can do math, is $55 million a year. Now, I like to say when I'm talking about the hockey stuff, if Paul Maurice does this, I'll drive down there and personally blah, blah, blah. Or if Bill Zito did this, I'll drive down there and personally blah, blah, blah. I'm not driving anywhere, okay? That's not the point. The point is that's how strongly I feel about it. If Chris Grier, now we know he's going to give Tua the money. We know, okay? We know that's happening, all right? Just as sure as shit as you know that guy that your wife says is just a friend, you catch my point. You already know. You're not stupid, okay? We know Greer's going to give him. Now, 55, I'll throw up my lunch and my breakfast and yesterday's dinner. $55 million, you're going to give that man 4 years, $55 million. I'm willing to give Tua this year. I've been on the clock about saying that. Say, give Tua this year. Just let him play out his contract and see. Because if there was ever going to be a year where we're going to need some good offensive performance, and it might have to do it under sketchy offensive line conditions, this is going to be it. We're going to find out more about Tua and his durability and his ability to make plays in the big moments this year, far more than we have in any of the other years. And last year we got the whole, it's Tua's first playoff game, excuse. So I know he's going to give them the money. I was kind of hoping to be more like $45 million, right? But that don't mean I want 5 and 220 either. So, yeah. But that's the one thing that we know is likely to happen. Now, the thing with Christian Wilkins, if Chris Grier lets Christian Wilkins walk and we only get a compensatory pick, I will fly down there personally and shave his dog. Does he have a dog? I don't know. I like dogs, so I probably won't do that. But that's the level of anger that I will feel towards that man, because that's the level of stupidity that would it exhibit if he let the guy go for compensatory picks. If you're going to let him hit the market, all right, you tag him and trade him. This isn't rocket science. Now, why would it come out that we were considering letting him hit the free market? And that's the one thing. You have to take that, a lot of these things with a grain of salt. Same thing's going on in hockey right now. Trade deadline is almost upon us. And the agents put out bullshit. And the reporters are happy to put out the agents' bullshit, because the reporters are the ones that get the real shit from the agents when it's not bullshit. So the reporters are stuck putting out all of this shit, and it's left to us to decide whether it's real shit or bullshit. You catch my drift? So the agents could possibly be putting out that Wilkins is willing, that they're willing to let Wilkins go to free agency as some kind of backwards reverse way to get us to lower our price if we're willing to trade him or tag him and trade him, or however that's going to work out. All I know is that if Greer gives Tua $55 million and we lose Wilkins, you guys should have a lynch mob for the man, and he shouldn't have another day on the job. Because if you think this team's winning with Tua $55 million without the defense being lit top notch like a firecracker, I want to know where you're getting your drugs, because I'd like to have some, because sometimes I can't sleep so well, and you definitely comatose. So please put some pressure on that man. All right. I don't know how it is down there anymore. I don't live down there anymore. I know that when I lived down there, we called a talk show so much that we got Don Shula fired. Now, I'm not bragging about that. And I wasn't one of the ones that was calling wanting to get him fired. But we called the talk show so much we got Don Shula. You all know the story, okay? Shula gave the story of, I only wanted to stay for 1 year. The Dolphins wanted me for 2, so we decided to end it now. Come on, I love you, Don. But everybody knew that wasn't true. The point is that you fans have a little bit more power than you would believe. And if Greer, what I've seen in Tom Hanks in The League of Her Own, right? When he's just like, and he just wants to wring somebody's neck, and there's a whole long list of things that he would like to say. The video will get banned on YouTube if I said what I really want to say, but I think you catch my drift. Greer, please, man. It's bad enough you're going to give Tua the money. But if you're going to lose Wilkins, man, there better be some massive pick compensation coming back, or else.